Greetings and salutations, everybody. I'm Rob, aka Robbie Diesel. To the left of me, the man, the myth, the legend.
Oh shit.
Mr. TJ Sterling.
Yo, what up? What's up? Hey.
This is stuff that must happen when I'm at Comic.
Oh man, you guys don't understand. It's my dude over here, man. It's my boy. Rob, rocking since 2016.
Way
you know what I'm
back.
saying? Way back, Grand Rapids Comic Con. I had literally one comic book. This cat was in the streets supporting black creators, showing up for our people all day, interviews, and he's a real human being.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember rocking with you before you had the center table.
That's right.
They tucked you in the back.
Yep.
Try to hide the greatness, but we're here now, man.
We're here now.
We're at Motor City Comic Con 2021. TJ, again, you are one of my absolute favorite people to talk to. Not only because of how genuine and authentic you are, but because every time I see you, it's like you got the rocket on the back, brother. So how has the feedback been? The last time we talked, we were doing the Kickstarter for Joystick Angels, which has launched successfully. How's the feedback been since the Kickstarter for Joystick Angels?
Oh, that's a great question, man. And first of all, I just want to say thank you, bro. Like I said, this is just, I always look forward to coming to Michigan, because I'm a Michiganer at heart. I'm born and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I love being in Novi for Motor City Comic Con. You guys treat us so well, so thank you again to all the Motor City Comic Con staff. And I'm overwhelmingly, the support from my folks in Michigan has always been big, man. I came here this weekend to the show with 100 copies of Joystick Angels. I sold out in a day and a half. I've only got 7 copies left of my Okemus trade paperback. So the feedback, the repeat customers and support continues to show up every single year, and I just can't be more grateful.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. Now, in the middle of all of that, you also found time to launch issue 5 of Okemus,
Yes.
which I went on record as saying issue 4 was probably the greatest issue so far. And I don't want to get into spoilery things at all, but how does issue 5 follow up on the events that took place in issue 4?
That's a great question, man. Shoot, guys, if you're thinking about big budget movie action, Okemus 4 is like our penultimate issue that kind of breaks the cabinet wide open, just breaks the whole shit, just bam, you know what I'm saying? Craziness. But issue 5's a little bit more calmer because I think a lot of people have had questions in terms of who some of these characters are, their backstory, where they've been, X, Y, and Z. So there's all these kind of unanswered questions. And I wanted to take Okemus 5 as kind of a nice little breather, because Okemus 6 is going to be like this balls-to-the-wall, action, crazy, amazing, wild finish to the first arc of this run. So before I did that, I wanted to kind of give you guys a nice, calm story that kind of gives you more to the inside of who these characters are. So, yeah, a little bit more writing and a little less action on issue 5.
It's like a palate cleanser with some development in there.
That is correct. Yeah, this is the cocoa beans when you sniff into cologne and Macy's.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's very necessary, because that's something that always happens in those great stories. You kind of get the action ramped up, and then they lull you with some development, and then the story just takes off, man. So what other projects you got cooking in the pipeline? Because I know you are one to stay busy. You're never really satisfied with just the stuff that you have. What else you got rolling?
Absolutely. That's a great question. I've got so many things coming out, you guys. I can't even stress how excited I am to bring you guys some new stuff that's not Okemus related. We've got Joystick Angels number 2. That's going to be showing up next year very, very soon. We've got Villanus, a cyberpunk noir story centered around the world's most notorious villain named Shatter. And that's a book that's really gritty, dark, interesting. That's coming out next year. We're about to do a Kickstarter for it before the end of the year. I've got, what else? Okemus Dark History is coming out pretty soon. It's a 80-page graphic novel. It's a 100-page graphic novel that focuses on the backstory of Kale's parents in this dark, desolate future environment that we've heard so much, and there's been all this lure in the regular Okemus series. Okay. That's almost done. That's going to be happening real soon. Also, I'm working on 2 other really interesting books. I'm still working on the Tessina series. We've got 3 issues done behind the scenes. We're working on issue 4 right now.
I'm waiting on that one.
Yeah, it's going to be bananas, man. Like I said, the art's going to be incredible, and I'm super excited to share that with you guys, too. And then last but not least, I'm working on a magic story. Basically a story that kind of mixes Harry Potter with Black Panther and kind of gives you this nice, epic, ancient African, look of what this world of magic could be, you know what I'm saying? So it's something totally unique, different, and we've got tons of great stuff coming on your guys' way. Like, I'm super excited. Like, it's going to be crazy in the next couple of years. Just rock with me. Ride with me. We're going to do it.
They'll be there for sure. That's another, I've said it time and time again, man, but I think that's another one of my favorite things about you is the fact that the diversity and inclusion matters in your stories and within your characters, man. I think that's so important that you got the female lead character in Tessina, you got you got the brother lead in Okemus. How important is that with your actual character development? Obviously, you're using experiences from your real world, right?
Yeah.
People that you know. How important is that inclusion and diversity, and most importantly, representation in your books?
That's a great question, man. I mean, I think at the core of what we do here at RAE Comics has always been diversity and inclusion first. So, I've hired and worked with lots of different types of creators, trans creators, LGBTQ creators, Black, Asian, Hispanic, we've worked with pretty much everybody in terms of creators. So, and we pride ourselves on having a really robust talent roster from all over the world. Obviously we like to, for anybody who's watching this, that, we buy Black first, but we also work with other people that are POC in terms of just trying to get our stories out there, but it's like we try to give everybody a shot. We always give our people a shot first.
Absolutely. Kale. I was blanking on the name from Okemus, and then I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So tell me this, man. We're obviously doing the interview in the mask. COVID is still very much a thing.
Yep.
How has the pandemic affected your releases, and most importantly, how you get to interact with the people at Comic Cons?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of air hugs going on. Nah, but for real, though, thankfully, man, during the pandemic, we had to make a very, very quick pivot. It was one of those things, it's like if we didn't figure out a different way to kind of, get the comics to customers, we may lose a lot of money, or we could even die. So, out of that, fear of, hey, I don't want my business to take, I don't want to lose anything, I did a Kickstarter campaign in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. We made over $20K in 30 days on the first Okemus Kickstarter ever, and that's really because of all you guys who have supported us over the years. And that Kickstarter was a nice way because it's direct, it's like direct marketing, but it's also direct distribution. So you buy the comics from me through the campaign, you get it sent directly to your house. There's no waiting. And then 2021 comes around. Obviously, people are getting vaccinated. But at the same time, it's like, hey, let's get these events back because so many people have been losing money and businesses have been taking a hit. So in that whole thing, it's like now that we're back to cons, there's lots of procedures in place, vaccinations, proof of vaccination, tons of hand sanitizer. You can look around and see a sea of bottles. There we go. I've got 3 of them at my desk. So, I mean, it's just an interesting time to be a creator, but I think we're soldiering through and we're getting it done.
Awesome, and that's fantastic to hear, man. Because we need your genius around. We need to see these Okemus books keep getting cranked out. And honestly, brother, I'm really excited for Joystick Angels too. I think that is one of the more really creative, really out there projects that you've done. Real quick. What was the creative process like behind that? Because you also worked with your brother.
That's correct.
With Joystick Angels. What was the creative process like behind that book?
Great question, man. I would say that, I try to go with my gut, man. That's why I trust my gut 100%. If I feel like there's a need for something, I feel like there's something that needs to be done, or there's something missing in the industry, I try to do my best to fulfill that. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's also I always wanted to see, Black folks in space doing cool shit. Lando was the only person in all of space in Star Wars. He's the only brother in all of space. No Black women, You know what I'm saying? Like, no Asians. Like, it's literally Lando's the only one. So it's kind of crazy to me that was the norm for so long. But again, you know, now that we're in a current time, it's like, hey, what is something we always wanted to see? Me and my brother were literally making dinner in our apartment, hanging out, and it's like, I'd love to make a space opera, but with people that look like us doing cool stuff. But let's make it like a video game. Let's take all those things we loved growing up as a kid, like Star Wars, Star Fox, all these interesting games like Gradius or Darius Twin, all these Super Nintendo games, y'all Super Nintendo heads out there. So we took all that and kind of spliced it into this story about these 4 young pilots trying to save the universe from an evil alien empire. And we want to also be able to pitch it to like a network, like, hey, look at this dope comic. It could be a series X, Y, and Z. And that's kind of a little bit of the history of Joystick Angels. And then, so me and my brother, we co-wrote it. And the last thing, he created a soundtrack for it, too.
Yes, yeah, which is super dope, too. And that's one of the cooler things about, you know, the pivot to digital is that not only are you getting really, really dope content in the form of your comics, but you're also getting exclusives like the soundtracks that gives you just that extra little touch, gives you a little more insight, a little more personalization, if you will. So before I wrap this up and before we get out of here, man, you got a couple of months left in the year. What does the end of the year look like for you, and what's next for TJ and RAE Comics?
It's a great question, man. The end of the year is going to be ridiculous. Like, we've still got a lot of shows left.
Yeah.
I've got, 2 more comic conventions left, and I can't remember the names.
C2E2?
I may do C2E2. I'm going to do Anime NYC.
Okay.
I'm going to be at Emerald City Comic Con in December to close the year out. So I've got quite a few more shows going on. I might even be at Baltimore next weekend. We'll see if anybody's in Baltimore, Maryland for Baltimore Comic Con. But yeah, quite a few more cons. Continue to stay consistent and get some more of these books done.
Awesome, man. That's fantastic. Last thing, brother, where can the people find you on the social medias? Drop the handles, please.
Yes, super easy, guys. RAEcomics.com. RAE Comics at Twitter, at IG. I might even be on TikTok. No, I'm not on TikTok.
Not yet.
Not yet. I don't have no dances or no weird animal videos or baby videos.
You got to get to work, man.
I got to get to work. For sure. But thank you. That's it.
I appreciate it. Make sure y'all go and check out RAEcomics.com. If you can, when you can, as soon as you can. Make sure you get Joystick Angels.
Yes.
Make sure you check out issue 5 of Okemus. And if you haven't checked out issues 1 through 4, don't even read 5 before you do that.
That's right.
I am your gracious, humble host, Robbie Diesel, joined as always by TJ Sterling. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.